Hey, good morning, gang. How's everybody feeling today? It's a beautiful, cool Friday. Perfect day to get a good workout in. Hey, Karen. Hey, Mark. I think Z is in this somewhere too. We're doing this thing. We got another Karen coming in too. That's pretty fabulous. We're going to be videoing this one for YouTube. Hello, YouTube people. This is going to be the perfect workout of the week. Those of you who've already done it once or twice already know that. I hope you know that. We're going to get it all. Going to spend some time on the ball and on the floor. Going to get all the major muscle groups, just like we do. Let's see if Zia shows up in there. Looks like you guys are ready. All right then, let's do it. Bring your attention down to your feet. Raise your toes and stretch them and rock them a little bit so you can open up the bottom of those feet so they connect to the earth. Feel that foot fascia. Maybe move the ankles side to side a little bit. Just breathe down into those feet. They don't get quite enough attention on the average day. See if they're nice and square and your shoulder width, the way you like shoulder width. Well, let's start this thing off with a big exhale, right down through the bottom of the feet, down into the center of the earth. We're knowing that breathes back up through the feet, through the ankles, through the shins, knees, and everything. Arch yourself back, push your pelvis forward, squeeze your back a little bit, shoulder blades together, feel that stretch and breath, and then let that naturally round back forward. Reach them out, round through the spine. Tuck your pelvis a little bit, push your shoulders way up over the top of your rib cage. Exhale. Let's do that another time each way. Take your time, feel how it just naturally opens back up. That spine extends and overextends, we could say a little bit. Just squeeze your butt and everything back there. And then let it poof like you're taking a big wind in the chest. And the gut, and round it out like you're a parachute. Catching wind. Feel that back panel stretching. And as that comes back, pause for a moment at that perfect balance point. Nice and tall. Squeeze your long spine nice and long, a little bit extended. Push your butt back into that posterior chain. Long tabletop broad drawbridge. Spine comes down. Feeling those hamstrings take the load like magic, mechanical magic. Reach long through the top of your head. Go up and down slightly to really feel those hamstrings and glutes working on that. Big inhale up the spine, last rigid spine move, and then collapse it. Let it hang like a chain, like a cable. You come right on down and touch the floor and exhale at the top of your head. Hang there for 2 more breaths. Absolutely push your knees forward and back to feel how that operates in the posterior chain. Now put your fingers under your toes, take a big breath in. We're going to push up into the back with a gorilla pose. Push up, stretch that whole back parachute. Pushing the knees back. And then turn that off and hang for 2 more good exhales. Bounce a little bit if you like. Maybe rotate a tiny bit through the shoulders. Release, release, release the low back. Now to come back up, we're going to go the way we came. So don't come up yet, just straighten the spine so you're like a big drawbridge or a Murphy bed. And then sit into the heels, use those very same hamstrings to tick you up, unhinge, tick, 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 tick. But not all the way up. When you can look out across the horizon, sit into those toes a little bit and hammer those heels. This is the Flamenco Warm-Up. This is posterior chain warming up. This is hammering those bones for anti-osteoporosis. And exhaling, breathe before you need to. Vocalize if you like. Really let them rattle, feel that heat generating. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and that very tall, perfectly stacked place again, as if you're being pulled up through the top of the head, sinking down into the earth. Now one more breath in and out. And on the next in-breath, let that raise your arms up. The breath catches under the arms. Up they come, right to vertical, and then squeeze your butt, arch out, reach for the corners of the universe, stretch your pecs and your whole front side, carefully squeeze your butt and say, ah, it's Friday. And bring it right back to nice and tall, perfectly stacked again. And then do these little baby mini squats into the heels, hands, let the shoulders roll. This is the master's exercise. This very simple warm-up, done 3 minutes a day, will assure that you die of natural causes. I'm going to come right down and through, swinging through, really coming down a vertical line. Even as I'm hinging just a little bit, I'm really riding a vertical line up and down, compressing the ankles and shins, and knees. Can be almost effortless, or you can put a little more push into it, make it more exuberant and exciting. It's got some joy in it when you're up there. It's like, ha, ha. Let them swing, nice tall head. We're going to count them down and end up in the chair pose. So we go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and they're up. Turn on the spine pretty tight and the shoulder blades back, and sit your butt back into your heels, and then soften for the next minute and 10 seconds. Continue to sink slowly, let the legs melt you down. Feel yourself stretched. Every time you exhale, you get a little longer from the top of your skull to your tailbone. And all your joints open up a little bit on the exhale. The tendons relax and stretch. And the muscles barely have to do anything. It's just your intention. I'm still sinking about maybe a ½ inch per exhale. And then by gum, it does start to get intense. Tuck your chin, lengthen your head, lengthen your neck. Exhale down into the feet and out the fingertips. Really long for 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. And on the next exhale, push down to make you come up. Let your arms come down as if through water. And then they turn off and they swing super gently. That's warmed up. All right, we're going to do scapular circles. And we might do a couple of scaps. We'll do 1 scap square, repeat tracer first. So what we're going to do is try and get this scapula to move in a circle around the rib cage. Imagine you've got a pencil point sticking out of that end of your shoulder right there. And let's pull them right, put your arms out in front of you, kind of like a zombie. Pull them right back and take them up and down about 3 times. So tracing the upright back vertical of that square. Really pinch them back, and now shrug them up kind of uncomfortable in your ears. Take them forward and back. That's protracting and retracting elevated shoulder blades. It's a little uncomfortable. Now keep them forward, that's protracted, and bring them down and up 3 or 4 times. The abs are in, the spine is tall. We got 3 sides of the square. Let's depress them down hard and pull them forward and back. Stretching the traps, reaching them way back behind you and way out in front of you. All right, you're starting to get hot. We're going to open them out to 45 degrees, and now we're going to just do circles. Take the corners off of the squares. Notice how my spine chases a little bit. My rib cage chases a little bit. That's fine, but they're big, high back, down, low, forward circles. And now pulling your abs, stabilize the rib cage, tuck your chin. So your spine and ribs stay still, and just the shoulder blades are moving. They should be getting hot underneath. Pinch them right back 4 more times. 4, and 3, and 2, And 1. Oh, that's so good. Such a great way to get to know your shoulder blades and what they're up to. Swing these a little bit and let's stretch this across like this. This stretch can really be your friend. Open up those shoulders like that. Am I a little dark on that screen? 3, 2, 1. Let those swing once and catch the other one. Drop it down low. Stretch and trap. Deltoid. Open things up. 3, 2, 1. And let them swing once again. Very, very good. All right, we're going to do 2 inchworms. We're going to hang out in a plank on the first one, and then we're going to go into some bear crawl action on the second one. Crawly things. So, get out on the edge, absolutely set up your yoga mat if you need to. And just like we hinged at the beginning, I go from very tall, push back. Make sure that butt sways back. It goes back a good 4 inches into that posterior chain. Long spine, hinges down, hamstrings are holding us. How low can you go? If you need to bend the knees, you may. Reach for the floor and then reach out in front of you as you walk out that inchworm. When it gets just to the right place, stop those hands, melt them into the mat. Come down into a wicked plank. Hold that plank sturdy and strong. Squeeze the navel in, drive your shoulders forward, chin back. Let's lift the right leg for a 6 count. Everything else is stable. 6, 5, pull the navel in, stabilize through the core. 2, 1, let that one down, rise the other one up. Squeeze the navel, squeeze the whole side abs, front abs, and everything. Reach through that heel, the erectors and glute turned on. 2, 1, put it down. Keep that spine long and strong, push up into a down dog. Exhale through your tailbone and your fingertips. Really get long for another exhale there. Stretching the hams and everything. And then walk it back. Walking the hands back. A little bit of a sway. Keep the spine pretty long. And let's see if we can hinge it up again. I'm going to hinge that up. My butt hit the wall. That's okay. Oh, very nice. Shake them loose. We're going to do it again. We're going to arrive in the plank for a few seconds, and then we'll drop, bring the feet forward into a bear primal pose. Make sure you're swaying that butt back at the posterior chain, holding the system. Big and long and strong, long neck. Reach for the floor. Walking on out. Every single move is worthwhile. Drive those scaps forward. Make sure your plank core is turned on. Spine is long. Bend your knees. Walk forward 4 inches with the feet. Now I've got vertical limbs, my core is engaged, and I'm long and strong, and I'm rocking forward and back just a little bit. Feel everything turned on, and now let's do circles. Go 5 times, one direction. Shoulders are forward engaged. Everything's swiveling in a very smooth, natural way. Stop that and take it the other way for 5, and 4, and 3. And then we're going to do 4 steps forward, contralateral. So slow steps with the left foot and the right hand, very small steps. Exhale when they touch down. I got 3, and then 4. I'm going to reverse them. Step those back, long spine, quads are cooking. 2, and 3, and 4. Line up the hands, drive up into that down dog again. Exhale it out. Stretch your whole posterior chain from your heels to your neck. One more of those exhales. Really pull your tailbone up to the sky. Dish out that spine. Walk the hands back. You're going to come down into the heels and sit down into a seed pod. Curl all the way down. Like a small child. Exhale there. And then push your butt up first. And unwind. This time we're coming up with a spine curl. Engage the spine only slowly from the bottom up. My head will come up last. I'm unwinding like a seed pod, like a sprout pushing up through the earth. Dumping down into my feet, pouring myself into my feet and legs. The head finishes, the journey comes up tall. We open and roll the shoulders back a little bit. Feel that stack again. It's like we were just born. Shake them out, super good. All right, let's do some boulder squats. This is a little bit tricky stuff, but we're gonna use our stick to help us out. I'm going to dump into my right leg. I'm gonna stand on my right leg while the left one flies. Keep your feet shoulder width. We're gonna use this to help my balance. Here's what it looks like from the side. We'll do 8 of these on each side. First one's very small. I squeeze that glute so it stays stiff. I push my butt back. There's that pure hinge. My foot hit the wall. I gotta come forward a little bit. Let's get 7 more of those. Now we know how the body knows what's coming. We can push it down a little deeper. Very nice. Let me show you that from the front. We got 6 more to go. Sway it back, reach it down, reach across. Reach right across to drop that flying left hip. Come all the way up tall. Squeeze that butt, look forward. If you've got the balance, lose the stick, swing it like a bowling ball. That's your boulder squat. Zoom. I think that's 4. We got 4 to go. I can go a little faster now if you got it. If you still need that stick, absolutely use it, but as little as possible. Just kind of slide it, neural reference. I got 6. Can you feel that hamstring as you're hinging down? 7. Most of the weight should be on the heel there. Heel and out step, all the way tall. Last one. Bring it right down. Feel how long you can get from your heel to the top of the head. Drop that left hip. Come on up. Shake that leg out. It's been working. And dump into the other leg. Sink that left leg deep into the earth. Your first hinge, first Sldl boulder squat is always a little bit shallow, just to warn the system. See if it's ready for the game. We'll still count that as 1. Feels pretty aligned. Long spine, reach it across. Use that stick any way you want. Sometimes I try to show off like this, and if I lose a little bit, I just touch it to the floor. That stabilizes me enough to keep it going. We got 3, all the way up. Open it up. Lead with the navel, the middle of the chest, not with the head. There's 4 of those. As you hinge down, push your butt, your leg back. Light up that posterior chain. I got 5 of them. Open and breathing. 6, 6, 6. Pretty darn graceful. 2 to go. 7, 7, 7. Throwing that bowling ball back. Stumbling sometimes is fine. And 8 of those. Hold it long. We know who we are. And bring it right back up. Super good. Shake that one out. It's been working pretty good. Let's keep that stick. Take it out wide. We're going to do some Pvc shoulders. This should be wide enough that when my arms are hanging, it drops right about in that hip crease when I bring that up. So we're going to go all the way up. Stiff arms, shrug the shoulders a little bit, open it slowly, carefully. There's that pop, boom, all the way down. Now to do that, some of us have to really kind of pop our ribs and cheat a little bit like that, which is okay. I'm going to try to do the next 3 without any rib pop. Keep the ribs down a little more controlled. Nice and high, chin tucked. That was pretty good. I think we got 1 more to go. Take it all the way over, down to the spine. Feel where it stretches. Bring it up right over the skull. Take it back behind the skull. Use that stick to keep your back long and strong and push back into a hinge. Butt back. Let's get 4 of these. These are modified good mornings. Really sway it back. Let those hammies do the work. 3. Nice sway back on those hips. 4. Pulse it a little bit. And bring it on up. Drop it on the shoulder yoke. Step yourself out nice and wide. Maybe 5 more of these. And then we're going to stay down and rotate through this thoracic spine. So when you're up, really throw that hips forward and tuck the pelvis under, stretch those hip flexors. Once again, push your butt back, posterior chain, long spine. We're not rounding down, we're hinging down. You got that, Karen, nice. Long and strong, 2. Feel how that works on the adductors and abductors. Drive through your out steps and heels, 3. If I'm too far forward in my hips, I feel it dump into my knees and my feet. If I throw my butt back, my posterior chain's got it. All right, we're going to stay down on this one and rotate 4 times each way. Aim your skull right at the screen. Look left, 1, 2, and right, 1, 2, and left, 1, 2, and right, 1, 2, and left, 3, 2, and right, 3, 2, and we're going to stick this for 4. Stick that down, go 4, 3, 2, 1, switch it out, and 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to the middle. Let's go up and down twice to re-sagittalize. Squeeze your butt, poke it forward. You can even overextend at the top with a little bit of it feels really good. Walk them in. That's good for the stick for right now. I don't have a single way to see the time. Let's go right to the calves, and then we'll get started with the program. So feet nice and shoulder width, maybe a little bit narrower. We're going to do 8 of these. We're going to hinge back. Feel yourself draw straight up. Squeeze the calves all the way. Hinge them back. Squeeze them up. So you can feel that up in the calves, hamstrings when you're back. Tight and tall. Use that balance. Work that balance. I think that's 4. I could be wrong. Hinge them back. We're going 5. And 6. Super tall. And drive down through the toes, up through the head. Let's hold this last one if we got it for 4. Get up there, squeeze them for 4. 3, squeeze them, squeeze them, squeeze them, squeeze them, calves. 2, and 1, bring them right down. Very good. Let's hit the wall and stretch. I'm going to drop one leg back, stiff knee to stretch the gastrocnemius. Drop my shoulders, look at the wall, and hinge the hips forward through the ankle. I'm not actually hinging the hips. I'm bringing the hips forward, hinging the ankle. Once you feel that really down, I like to keep the heel stuck to the floor for this one. Exhale into that 3 more times. Continue to push it and lengthen it. 2, keep on bending down through the ankle. And 3, feel that calf get long, long, long. Switch it out. Let's get the other one gastroc. Nice and long and stiff. Take a time. Feel how that catches and gets long. Drop your shoulders. Look at the wall. Continue the hips coming forward to the wall and the floor. Lengthen from the heel to the sit bone. Exhale 2 more long ones. Really push it down like you're going to bust out the back of your heel. And bring it back up. Let's get that first calf slightly closer to the wall. We're going for the soleus, the lower calf. I'm going to really bend the foot, drop the knee to bend the knee, drop the knee towards the floor. Drive down, stretching your foot fascia and your Achilles tendon soleus. Drive into that as best you can. 2 more exhales. Really let it get long, let it go. Last one. Very good. And roll that ankle about 3 times each way. Let it get some juice back in. Let's get the soleus on the second leg. Bend it down, stretch that foot fascia. See what you can do. How can you get that soleus lower calf muscle to stretch more? Can you lengthen the bottom of your foot more? 3 more exhales. Push the knee down and back slightly. 2. And 1. Very good. Roll that ankle about 3 times each way. Get the juice back in that calf. And let's get into the circuit. Yay, the circuit. We're going to do 3 exercises 3 times each. They're going to be a little slightly modified each time. We work for a minute. There's a cuckoo halfway through to let you know to switch legs or whatever you need to do. And I'm going to change that timer. We're going to start with squats with a goblet. So get a pretty heavy dumbbell goblet. I'm using a 15. I might use 2 15s today because I'm just feeling that rowdy. We're going to get a slightly wide sumo kind of squat. And we're going to do these slow and kind of intense. We're going to turn on all the muscles. This is my double goblet with my 15s. Set them up. Uh-oh. All right, the foghorn says we got 12 seconds till we start, but we might not wait that long. Feel yourself down in the feet, in the heels, nice and tall. Squeeze your glutes, turn on your legs before you go. Squat starts with a pushback, starts like a hinge. Drive out through the out steps, come down nice and tall. Lengthen that spine. These are slow, super deliberate squats. Down into the heels and out steps. Driving through the glutes and out steps and hams and abductors. Turning on those legs. Let the glutes fire, the quads fire. If you drive your feet wide, you'll feel your abductors. That's your glute medius and the outsides of your thighs. Drive them right down there. Shoulders are back, spine is long. Let's pulse this one for 6 times. Legs are really taut. 6. Extra muscle power. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Come on up. Keep them kind of slow. We probably got about 3 or 4 to go. Way back there. I can put that out in front of me a little bit. Help me stay up even taller. 7, 6, 5, 4. And we are good. All right. We're going to do a forward lunge with the stick. Get your stick to help you out of the forward lunge. Forward lunge is the hardest lunge. It's kind of intense. I'm on shoulder width. I got this out here to help me get back up off my right foot. I'll turn sideways a little bit. I'm going to step out just far enough. Come down into that heel. Make sure I'm in the heel and the glute. And then pop off. Back tall. If you want to, you can add that stork. Really load in. Pop yourself up, find that stork. Everything's solid. Loads in, decelerates, drives back up. Trying to keep that torso tall, dropping this knee down, boinging them back up. Pretty great stuff. The legs are warmed up, they're ready for that. Ha! If you got it, you show off a little bit. Drive it down, bring them up. I missed the stork. Switch legs, switch stick sides. Come into it. Always find a pulse. See if you're in the muscles you want to be in. Pop it up. Storky. I'm going to go right to overhead because I'm feeling like that. Stick it down into the earth. Ha. Zoing. Using glute. Definitely quad to push away from it, but glute to push up into that heel. And we have got it. Fantastic. We're doing 3-point row on the chair. Set up on the chair, almost like you're going to do a chair push-up, but the knees are under the hips. Sitting into those haunches a little bit, drive your shoulders forward and down, grab your heavy bell, let it hang, let it stretch out that shoulder, back of the shoulder blade, pull from your back, elbow just to the plane of the back, full contraction of that left upper back. Ah. Exhale it up. Squeezing all those muscle fibers all the way tight. Inhale it out. See you get every single fiber on the left side of your back to expand here and contract here. If you're game, you can turn this low row into a high row. Changes the torque on your core. Changes which back muscles we're using. Switch sides. Put it down. Get the other hand. Hang it down low. Start with those low rows. Use your breath to bring it up. It's an exhale. Inhale it long to the floor. Next time we do this, we're going to put one leg out in a bird dog. Switch to a high row if you like. Right here, that shoulder blade's coming back to the spine. Nice and high elbow. And put it down, shake them out. We're going to squat and curl slowly. The squat can be less deep. We're going to focus on the squat at first, and we'll go after those biceps. I'm using heavy bells, I'm using 15s. They seem kind of chunky, but I think I'm game. Nice solid stance, probably shoulder width, maybe a titch taller, a titch wider. Once again, the butt goes back. Make sure that's the first thing. The butt goes backwards on the heels, curl those up. Get those forearms vertical in front of you. As you're down, you do not have to squat super deep unless you feel like it. Now really come into the biceps. Keep that going. Feel when you're down, you feel that front line of the biceps turned on, and that powers it all the way up. Squeeze those all the way to the top. If you want to just do a baby squat, that's fine, just enough to load that posterior chain. Keep them cooking. I hope those arms are burning a bit. Right down like that. Super long spine, lengthen your neck. Don't want to curl in the thoracic. Drive them out, scoop in the air. Crushing biceps, open them down. 9, 8, 7, 6. We are just about there. Let them hang and stretch if you're up. And what do we got next? Reverse lunge, stork. This is one of my favorites. I'm going to keep a weight you do not have to. Ipsilateral side, I'm going to lunge on my left leg first, like I always do, because it's weaker. I'm going to drop this leg back, shoulder width. You can vary that. Come down into that heel out step. Drive down to come up. Stork that up. We started early. We're just now starting. Look how good we are. Really tall. Get into that glute and quad. Drive it down. If you can come up out of that reverse lunge without launching off the calf at all, then it's pure power. The hamstring draws you forward. The quads and glutes elevate you like an elevator. Dig it down. Drive right into the earth, super deep. Squeeze them. Switch them out. I switch bells, I switch legs. Probably shake that one. Drop it on back. Push it down. This is a very powerful lunge. One-legged work is so good for us. Bringing it down, bringing it up. Can you feel all the muscles in this leg firing? The quad, the glute, the ham, the outside abductors, even the inside abductors. Turn them on, turn them on. Drive it up, squeeze it tall. It's okay if you lose a little bit. All right, we are back on the 2-point row, which is going to start like a 3-point row. Feet are a little closer together, butt's probably a little further back. Grab that left bell, wrap into it, wrap your fingers into it, and get ready to start that row. Get 1 or 2 rows, all my weight's on my left leg, where the left bell is, and then I'm going to kick that right leg back into this bird dog position, or Sldl position, and I'm barely using that chair at all. I'm bouncing through that leg, squeezing that back muscle, exhaling it up. Now if you take this to a high row, you'll feel it change your balance. That puts a different torque on things. It's amazing. Pulling through the back and switching out. Set them up. Get yourself centered through that leg. You can drive that other leg back whenever you're ready. Commit to a long heel. Not overextended spine, tight glute, and then come back into the row. Squeezing it up. That's my back muscles. Try high row. 7 seconds left. That's probably only a couple reps, but every rep is worthwhile. Oh, that's your muscles are so happy to be worked like that. All right. We're going to attempt an overhead press with 1 dumbbell. So we're going to squat press a couple of times, and you're going to try leaving it overhead, which is very awkward. And if you don't like it, you can go back to the press. Get slightly wider, aim your toes out a bit. Sit back into that posterior chain, nice tall torso. Come on, up when you get to the top. Don't arch your back, squeeze your glutes and your abs right to the sky. Bring it back down. If you're game, keep it up overhead. Abs on, you won't squat as deeply. Try a little baby squat. You gotta push that butt back. How tall can you keep those shoulders and arms? This is a tremendous mobility challenge. Mark, you're amazing on those. Really keep it long and strong. Abs are on, bring them down, drive through the out steps. If it's just too much, go ahead and bring it down when you're down, and up when you're up. That's advanced class, Danny. You're looking tough. Way to do it. I can see your back on those heels and posterior chain, even though it's very hard to do. My goodness, we know who we are. 3 more reps, probably, maybe 2. There's 1. And this is going to be it. Bring it down, squeeze them up, squeeze everything high. Let them down. Amazing. All right, we're doing the apex exercise, in my humble estimation, of all times right now. It's the reverse lunge, just like we did Stork, and then Sldl, single leg deadlift. So I drop this back. We're going to do a whole minute here because it takes quite a while to do a whole rep. Loading down into this heel, hamstring, glute, everything. I come up, I Stork briefly, lock things in. The left leg's tight. Line the knees up, hinge it down. Use your chair to stabilize you. Pull yourself up through the hamstring. Don't raise the Stork. Put the leg right back and go again. That was one rep. We're going to stay doing this for the whole minute. Do not switch sides at the cuckoo. Stork, hinge, hinge. Are you swaying back? Are you finding that handy? Drop it back again. Whoa, pretty complex multi-move. Talk about hip stability work, huh? Sway it back, use that chair, drop that flying right hip. Don't let it hitch too high. We got a couple more to go. Drop it back. Really use that whole leg coming up. Drive it down like you're an elephant strong. Drop it down, last hinge long. And take a break. Same exercise, other leg. First shake that leg out. Breathe into it, flex it around. It worked very hard. Drill the other leg into the earth like a fence post. I'm on my right leg with the bell in my right hand. I'm going to try to face you the whole time. Drop that left one back just far enough. Not as far as a normal lunge. Come back into the heel, be tall. You do not have to go all the way down. Bring it up, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the quads, squeeze the abs, Stork. Knees aligned, butt sways back, a hinge. This is positively sublime when it's working. This is not supposed to be easy. You should feel like a dork when you start this. And I feel like a dork about every 6th or 7th rep anyway. Bring it down, find that hamstring and bring it back up. Drop that leg back. Tall, tall, tall torso. That's my hand, that's my glute, that's my quad. Drive it down, stick it in there, squeeze your muscles in your standing leg. Bring it here, such a solid leg foundation. Brilliant stuff. Drop it down. Ooh, turn on your shin calf muscles too. Drive it up, grip the earth. Stork with authority. Drop it down, push it back. Oh, I don't know how many more we can have. That's it. All right, one more in this round, then we're gonna break. Shrugs. I got my 215s. We're gonna shrug for about a little over half the minute, and then we're gonna stretch them. So wrap into those bells. Get your shoulders right under your ears. Feel that latitude you have to move them. Super tall through your head. Skull's pulled right to the sky. Take your shoulders as wide as you can get them and bring them up in your ears. Exhale them up. Inhale them down. Feel those upper traps. My shoulders are actually coming up and back just a titch. So they start under my ears, they end up behind my ears. Really try to feel those traps squeezing from the tips of your shoulders up to your skull. Exhale. Long, stiff arms. It's not a curl. 2 more. Squeeze them tight. We're going to hold that last one. Try to contract every fiber in those traps. Squeeze them. 3, 2, 1. Now let them down. Hold on to those bells and let those traps continue to get longer and longer. Be kind of still, but not really. You're going down and down. Move your shoulder blades slightly forward and back. Feel those different stretching lines. This stretch is part of the exercise. Bend your ear, bend your head. Feel that stretch from the base of your ear to the tip of your shoulder. That's your trapezius. Take it the other way. Hold that there for 2 exhales. If you do those the right amount, they can actually help to prevent headaches and neck tension. We are on a break for 75 seconds. Shake yourself out, get some water. We'll do a second round with the ball. We still got 30, 45 seconds before we begin. We're going to do ball, chest press, and flies, and then ball hip thrusters, and then ball crunch, which is I like to call the jellyfish. We're going to crunch the abs on the ball. And then we'll do the whole thing again on the floor with the ball at the ready. So you guys know the drill because we do this one so much. We're going to sit on the ball with your heavy bells and your hands on your knees, and we're going to roll it out until our head's just supported. Drag those arms up to totally vertical so that we are resting on the bones. Let's get it started here. All right, we're live in 12, so we're still setting up. I walk myself out perfectly aligned. My head's just barely resting, but I'm not supporting it. Hips are nice and high. Bells are up at the top, touching. Squeeze your pecs now before they come down. Pecs are turned on, and down you come into them. Drive them up right to the sky from the chest, from the sternum. If that press is going well for you, you are absolutely authorized to open these out into a wider press towards a fly, depending on how your dumbbells are. Really stay in the pecs. Almost stiff arms if you're game. As you load that down, you should be able to feel it coming into the pectoralis and the shoulder. Your job is to get more pec, less shoulder. Really load it in. Crush them together at the top. Keep the pecs turned on. If the pecs are turned on at the top, they hold it better coming down. They will turn off at the top if you don't tell them to stay on, because the bones have got it there. They get to rest. Don't rest them unless you need it. Keep them turned on. That means at the top, I'm still contracting that whole muscle. And it feels so good. Throw those bells aside. We're going to set up a hip thrust, which looks kind of similar on the setup without any bells. My head's on the ball, my knees are over my ankles. When I drop my butt straight down and keep those knees still, my head comes off the ball, barely kiss the floor, and then drive it up and squeeze your butt. When you squeeze your butt, you're squeezing your low back erectors, gives you a bulletproof back. Bring them down and take them up. Now this is totally worthwhile, but most of you need to make it harder. So dump into your left leg. Make your left leg do the next couple until the cuckoo. When you get to the top, I do use my fingertips for stability. Get to the top, you can put that other leg to the sky. Squeeze your glute. Don't miss the glute erector squeeze at the top. It's magic. Switch them out. You can do one on two legs, and then dump your weight and balance into the other heel. Drive them up. This exercise is so underrated and over effective for strengthening your posterior chain and your low back. This can heal many low back ailments or prevent them. Keep them cooking. Let me see how you look. Yeah. Drive that butt right to the sky. Squeeze them tight at the top. Super good. We're still on the ball. Get a little bit wiggly, switchy, changey. Put my toes against the wall. You can put them against the wall or under the couch. I'm getting that ball back a little bit so it kind of cradles my lumbar. My lumbar is not going to move much, but I'm really going to open this rectus abdominis. Feel the very most surface level of your abs. Open them up. They're long. Reach up and squeeze them tight. This may be one of the most effective abs, not core, but abs exercises I know. Because you can really get that rectus abdominis long, and you can really squeeze it short and tight at the top. From the pubic bone to the rib cage. Inhale when you're back. Exhale when you're up. Drive the elbows forward. Curl yourself. It's not a sit-up, it's a crunch. And it's a pretty lumbar stable crunch. Open up those thoracics. Bring it right up. You can reach forward with the elbows or the hands. Really squeeze through it. You can really squeeze those abs at the top on this one. It's amazing. Right up there going. Open them up. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. That's my abs. That's my abs. We are almost there. If you want to lay back the next one and open them up for a breath or two, really let those abs stretch out. And then we're going to stay about where we are. I'm going to the floor, pushing the ball off to where I can get it, and I'm going to use it right now. You can grab those dumbbells and do another chest press, which we will then turn into a fly. Give it another second or two. So you're on your back with your knees up, nice long spine, heavy bells in your hands. Heavy bells in your hands. I'm going to be live and flat, don't worry if you're late. Heavy bells because your chest is so strong. I'm on the floor, my knees are up, I drive that right up. Turn on the pecs again. Come down with the vertical forearms, press, pull the elbows gently into the floor. That turns off the pecs for a minute. Whoa. Turn them back on, drive them up. Now when we turn this into a fly, we do not turn them off at the bottom. The elbows might touch the floor, but I don't really pull them in. Squeeze one more press. Pull the elbows into the floor, drive them up. Now, just almost straight arm, open those up. Let the elbows just kiss the floor, and then crush them back up. Inhale as those pecs open and stretch and expand. Exhale as they contract. Find your pecs, find the fibers that are sleepy. Turn them all on, keep them on all the way to Hulk will smash at the top, crushing them together. Open them up wide again. Oh, we want more of those, coach. Come on. Stay right where you are, unless you need to get your ball. Get your ball out there. Get yourself perfectly aligned. Heels on the ball about 4 inches apart. Long, long spine. Walk your head away from your heels. Walk your head away from your pelvis. Relax your calves, point and flex them. Hands are stabilizing me. Press into that ball with your heels. I'm up in a bridge. This is a kind of a reverse ball plank. And it's pretty great. Tell your calves to stay relaxed and then rake that ball in your butt with your hamstrings. Nice and slow. Let it out nice and slow also. Really load into those hamstrings. As it comes in, see if you can drive those hips high. Keep full hip extension, straight line through the shoulder, knee, hip. If you cannot do that and it looks like this, it's still a really good hamstring exercise. Work towards doing it with a full extended hips, pelvis to the sky. When you get out, point and flex your toes a little bit, tell the calves to take it easy. It's hard to get the calves to relax. Really load into those hammies. Relax your neck, relax your head and neck and traps. Couple more, curl them in. Let them out slowly, slowly, slowly. One of the most amazing exercises in your pantheon. I think we're done. Drop your butt, stretch your hands out a little bit. What are we going to do? We're going to stay right where we are. We're going to lift that ball with our heels. So I get that ball stuck in the crook of my knee, stick my lumbar to the floor, and try to lift that bad boy. If it just can't happen, if there's no way your heels are going to lift that, don't worry about it. Imagine that it's there and lift them like that and curl it right up. It's super cool to lift the ball. It does a cool muscular thing, but I lost mine, so I'm going to do them like this. You keep these bent, use my hands a little bit, round that lumbar, lift the knees towards my chin. Pull the navel into the spine, bottom rectus first. Bring them up. So you can feel that abdominal contraction coming from the pubic bone up to the rib cage, up even your neck. That means you're getting your sternalis and fancy intercostals in the game. Inhale when it's out. Exhale when they come up. I've lost my ball altogether, so I can take those out, bring them to 90, bring up that pelvis. Any elevation you get off the floor counts. If you can only get it up 1 centimeter, that counts. If you can curl it up and put your knees in your eyeballs, do it. That's some pretty good abs, gang. What are we going to do? We're going to do a ball push-up. So we're still on the floor, but we're going to get on our knees. Get the ball. This, again, is pretty advanced stuff. You guys are the A-team. I'm going to push it at a 45-degree angle through the ball. I'm not on the top. My hands are aimed out. And I'm going to drop my pelvis down a little bit. I end up doing these in a primal position sometimes. Pull the ball towards you. Sink your shoulders down far from your ears. Go on down and push up. You can really adduct on this. That is, squeeze the ball as if you're punching your hands right into the middle of it. Down strong, keeping those pecs on, shoulders down. If it's going well, you got the strength and the core strength and stability, lift your knees off the floor as you come up. Then the knees touch, and I come down the rest of the way. So it starts easy, and then when I'm strong, they come up. This ball bear crawl position, bear primal position, is really amazing for core stability, shoulder control. Keep those scaps down. Drive on them up. You got it. Try and really keep those shoulders down far from your ears. That's driving through the lats. Exhale up. Squeeze the pecs at the top. Hold. 2, 1, and I was anterior chain, posterior chain with ball bird dogs. This is a weird one, but I love it. I'm hovering on the ball. Digging my elbows in and knees in, balancing myself, lengthening the spine. I'm going to take that left heel out. The right knee stays against the ball, the right thigh's against the ball. Extend long through that glute, and put the other arm out to the side. Keep them going. Somebody's dogs are barking. All right, and then alternate. Opposite arm, opposite leg. I thought I got it, but the dog's still barking. Squeeze through the glute, put the arm out. That's all right, I like a good dog. Keep them cooking there. When that's out, you're contracting your whole back. And we're still cooking. So you can keep the knee and elbow that's not going out in the ball. And lengthen through the spine. Bring the shoulder blade to the spine. Kick the other one out, long and strong, big T on that arm. Chin's tucked, neck's back, neck's long and strong. The chin's tucked back, head is long. Ooh, the balance is challenging. Squeeze them out, oh, so good. And then collapse. Collapse on that ball. Push the roundness into your spine. Stretch that lumbar out a little bit. That's just one of the coolest exercises ever. We got one thing to do. Standard ball rollouts. And we'll do some floor stretchy things. So my hands are about 4 inches apart, karate chops. I'm going to try to keep a straight line, shoulder, hip, knees as I fall into this and roll that ball out. Use the abs and the lats to pull yourself back up. Let's do 3 of those and then we'll pivot on it. Come right on down. Now the trick here is not to hinge as you come down. This would be a hinging ball roll out. This is an extended ball roll out. If it feels good, take those elbows farther away from you, put your forehead on the ball, keep the abs on, lumbar controlled. I'm going to stay here and saw it, and you know the drill. If that's working well on the knees, you got the steam, squeeze the abs, come up on the toes. Do little stirs. Stir the ball about 5 times one way, shoulders are forward and down, stir the ball the other way. Draw your transversus abdominis in. Work your quads and dip your knees a little bit and make it yours. This is a funky, flexible, stabilizing abdominal strength, core strength machine, like you are. Ha! Let them down. That worked very, very well. How much time do we have left? We've got some time to play on the floor. Let's play on the floor. Do some floor postures. Have a seat, cast the ball aside. Floor postures are really good for us. If you can get down on the floor every day to play with the dog or the kid or your computer on a low table, do it. Get circulation into the butt and different things. I got a butterfly going on. I pull my heels in towards my groin, pushing the knees down and out. Tall spine. And let's shift this into a shin box. I take one of them around like this. It's a shin box because this shin is perpendicular to that shin. I try to get nice and tall through the spine. And then I'm going to keep my feet about where they are. Lean back, swivel them this way. Nice and tall through the spine. Working those hips. Let's go 2 times each way. I'm going to push this knee into the floor when I'm down. Push this knee into the floor. And back this way. Brief pause, pressure down. And the other way. This is super good for your hips. Nice and tall. Really rotate it around. Feel how those hips are doing their thing. And come on out like this. Put your legs out in front of you. See if you can get tall and bounce your knees on the floor. Get your chest forward, your lumbar forward, bounce your knees on the floor. And then stretch that glute and twist the spine. Across my left leg, across my right. I take my right arm around and hook that knee. And then I try to get tall. And I look away. We exhale 4 times. Every time you get a little taller, a little twistier. Compressing the organs, stretching that left glute. Super tall, not too much effort. Let it be kind of easy. One more exhale, twist you a little further. And bring it back, switch it out. Bounce those knees a little bit. Cross the other one over. Nice and tall. Hook that knee if you can get it. Super tall through the spine. Don't rotate your head further than your spine. Notice should be pretty lined up with your sternum, a little bit to the right. 2 more long exhales. Big tall. We're going to get 3. 2. Feel that spine continue to twist, gently extending those tissues. And let that come back totally smoothly and naturally. And bounce them again. Happy knees, happy quads, happy back, happy spine. Let's come on up and do the leg swings because they're just my very favorite way to end things. We'll get them all. You guys are all really good at this, but you people out on YouTube land, this might be new and difficult. Dump down into that left leg, sink it into the earth. Put the right leg back and the right hand out like you're shaking hands. Let them alternate. I touch a little bit to see if I got my balance, but I'm tall and balanced, and then I want to let that swing in the sagittal plane. We'll do 3 pairs of these. This is the sagittal swing. Ha, ha. Open that hip. Let it be loose and easy. 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. If you've still got balance, put it down with total control. Rise the water up this pump riser, pipe riser, dump it down this one, sink it into the earth, drop that back. A couple of check swings. If you're new at this, you can touch and touch, but try not to put weight on it because ultimately we want it to swing free. Open the hip, train our dynamic balance. Say that word again. This is dynamic balance. It's so amazing to stay on top of. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Still got it. Park it down, draw the water out of this leg, pour it into that leg. Frontal plane, I'm out to the side, opposite. Once again, I can touch and touch and touch. And if I got it, I can really swing it. Open that hip, that ITB, kick it across the center line. Feel a little bit of vaudeville. You can do jazz hands. Ba-ba-da-da. 4, and 3, and 2. And 1, you are on your game. I'm going to turn this way, dump it into that other leg, set them wide, bring them across. Keep getting taller and sinking that leg deeper. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it around, park it down. Here's the trickiest one. Sink that leg deep into the earth. Wrap this one around it. Wrap the arms the other way. Let them both go at once. If you need stability, check it and check it. But where we're going is that free rotational swing, slightly spine twisting, chi motivating, around the world, around the axis swing. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Unwind it, let it swing to a stop. Final thing. Pierce it down into the earth like a fence post. Wrap it around the axle and let it go around and around. Tall through the top of the head. Vertical spine axis. Everything's pivoting. 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Bring it around, park it down. Nice and wide. Sink yourself down, both feet. Breathe into your belly deep. Exhale it down the feet. You are grounded, aligned, and balanced, and mighty. Thank you so much for being here. More to come.